what time it is. Amateur and the coach. Amateur and the coach. And let me tell you again, we're talking about amateur and the coach.
Happy Labor Day, everybody. Brother?
Happy Labor Day to you.
For sure. We're here redoing. I can't believe we finally got here. Everybody's been waiting for us finally to make this appearance. And here it is. You know what I mean? Amateur and the coach in effect. God, it's been a struggle, man, trying to get this going, you know.
Today, yeah.
Well, just the whole process. I mean, you know, trying to get everything. When you start a podcast, you never think that it's going to be this hard, or I don't know. It's just, there's a lot into it. More than I thought.
It depends on what your ambitions are, for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that the Amateur and the coach, we support the troops.
With our tax dollars.
With our tax dollars, that's a fact. Also with support and moral support, we're all about the truth, and we just say, all you veterans out there, happy Labor Day, straight from the Amateur and the coach. But besides that, you know, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited we finally got this off the road. It's been a little rocky, but here we are. It's been something I think that we should have done a long time ago, man. I think that it's
Like back when you were the amateur and I was the coach.
right. Back when we were doing the deed, you know what I mean? Back when we were just a little bit wilder. But still, I think that, you know, even with all that experience we had, and now that we're doing the show, I think it actually worked out better that way, because now we have something to actually bring, something to actually talk about. When it comes to the MMA community side, you know, when we get into that at times in this show, we have some sort of a background. You know, we have experienced at least the tip of the iceberg, you could say. You know, we kind of rubbed elbows in there.
Yeah, and well, in my opinion, that was at the height of American MMA. You know, 2011, 2012.
Right.
You know, and since then it's been
weird. Dude, it sure was the height here in Lawton, Oklahoma. Dude, there wasn't shit here when we started, dude.
That's true.
I mean, there's very few actual MMA academies.
There was Grady.
Right, Grady. You know what I mean? But nothing really. It was just starting off,
There were
dude.
those Sam Shao dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zansheng or something.
What was the one over there by the old MD and Medical Center right there on Gore? It was like this kung fu, like during the day.
Yeah.
And then at night they would do the MMA. Well, I went there a couple times to do the MMA there.
Okay.
But I can't for the death remember what that shit was called. But I remember during the day there would be like this dude in a gi teaching karate and shit. And then at night it would be like these MMA classes, which is pretty dope. I mean, that's where, you know, I got to roll with some pretty good people. I kind of sharpened my striking there and whatnot. But yeah, there really wasn't nothing back then when we started, dude. It was pretty raw.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, with the success of Lovato Jiu-Jitsu,
Right.
and now that he's the middleweight
Right.
champion of the world in Bellator,
When Bellator, champ.
that stuff helps.
It does. And not only that, like I said, along with, I was just thinking about Labor Day, you know, as we progress on the show, we're going to have all different types of guests, especially September. We're packed with guests. And one of the guests I am excited about that's going to land in September is going to be my boy, Virgil. He's the owner of Dreadnought.
Oh.
And he's an ex-Ranger.
Yeah.
He's an actual retired Ranger.
I think all of those coaches at Dreadnought are ex-Army guys.
I'm not sure. I really haven't talked to you like in depth. Like say I don't really talk to you like other people about their background, but I did sit down and talk to Virgil for a little bit, and he did mention that he was a Ranger. So you know, big shout out to my boy, Virg Dreadnought,
And the Rangers.
and the Rangers. Yeah, and the Rangers. These are real assassins. But yeah, so for Labor Day, that's what's up, man. And especially with Fort Sill, you know, here in Lawton, we really celebrate it. It's a big thing. There's a lot of GIs walking around up in L-Town. But yeah, that was one of the reasons why I thought that this podcast that we're doing would be a good thing as towards the MMA side because of our experiences. But also, we've been here a long time, bro. You know what I mean? We've been here so long that we can actually call this bitch the Shady 580. And I mean, dude, that's it's for you to recognize it in that fashion. You have to be a Latonian, baby. You know, you have to be from these area, these states, or at least put your time in here And
Yeah.
you know, to be proven to say, hey man, you know what's about around here. So yeah,
It definitely has some qualities
right,
that other cities don't have.
for sure,
Good and bad ones, you know,
right.
both awesome ones and ones that I hear a lot of complaints about.
Yeah, me too. You know, like when I first got here, everybody talked about how bad it was and how you know the crime rate and the gangs and whatnot. But I started to realize that I guess that is the reality for some people who actually like in the fucking jungle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who are out there like fucking do some devious shit at night or
You know,
whatever.
the jungle encroaches. So.
For sure. And I'm not saying it doesn't. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying Lawton doesn't have his areas or whatnot. But I'm just saying, like, for the majority, in my experience, dude, there's some good people here in Lawton.
Yeah,
There's good stuff going on. There's good areas. So as that impression I first got when I got here, and I'm talking about almost 14 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, was that was you know coming from California and Arizona and coming from a real area where you see you know violence and crime, especially where I come from, you know Southern Arizona, Southern California, you know, and the things that I grew up and witnessing, you know, when they said that Lawton was that way, I was thinking, oh damn, dude, it's crazy over here. But as I met people and as I you know grew and got whatnot, and got to know, dude, Lawton's a great place.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of people in this community that I feel like they contribute so much and they just don't have a spotlight. They really don't have someone to say, hey, you know, that guy right there is a hell of a dude. Or you see that woman, she's really making stride. And I feel that's one thing that we're lacking here.
Yeah, there are certain outlets for that, but you know, it doesn't cross. It stays compartmentalized, whereas other things in the city get spread throughout a socially incestuous web of networks and relationships. The highlight on people who are doing a great job or who are just integral to the way that the city functions are only known by that small pocket of people that doesn't get out to the mass of Lawtonians.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know a lot of people, man, and I feel like they need that spotlight. So that was also another like inspiration for me to hit you up and be like, bro, we gotta make the show. I want to bring locals in. I want to sit them down. I want to get to know them. I want to talk. For instance, who doesn't want to get to know the mayor, Booker, and really figure out what Booker's about? You know, in more of a in-depth, not a real political conversation or an agenda spreading conversation, but more of a like, who are you, dude?
Mm.
And that's pretty much what I'm trying to reach out. You know, what we're
Yeah.
trying to do, bro.
Yeah, a lot of course, those people make time to get on platforms to push their agenda, but you don't really get to see the man or woman behind the statements.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And that's what people
Right.
really crave, especially in
Right.
this type of city.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of shows and a lot of podcasts kind of bypass that. You know, they're always kind of highlighting their grand moments or their achievements,
Yes.
but they really don't break it down, you know, to a sense like, you know, what drove you? What was the food, that mental food, that fucking substance that you use, or that philosophy that you fell upon to get you where you're at, man? To be a business owner, just for instance, for example, you know, Greg's Monument Tombstones. That guy's been doing it for 40 years. Mr. Greg, he's been setting monuments. His family's been in the funeral business. He's been in the monument business for like 40 years. If you want a decent monument and at a cheap price and some good people to deal with, that's Mr. Greg at Greg's Monument.
Right.
Hell of a good guy. Works with you, very sympathetic. Like I say, he's been in the business 40 years. So I asked him, you know, just like, he's a good friend of mine. And I was just like, what can make a man just continue to do the type of work that you're in? Because he's tied to the community every single day,
Yeah.
you know, and he doesn't lose his step. He doesn't lose his eagerness, or, you know, how he treats the people and the public. He's always very respectful. And he just says, you know, it's love for the game, basically. It's love, you know, it's, for him, it's actually leaving something behind. He wants to, you know, he has this potential, this drive, and he feels like it needs to be answered. You know, and that's been getting him through these 40 years, you know. So those are the type of questions that I'm interested in asking, you know, these guests that we're going to be having on for the rest of the year is, dude, what's the drive, bro? You know?
What is the passion behind the pursuit?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes people a little while to, unless they, you know, some people can just say, I read Atlas Shrugged and I became a, what do they call those people?
What? Pompous. What? What? Fucking
Objectivist,
Right.
objectivism, right? And so objectivist people will say, "Boom, that's where I got it,"
Right.
or fundamentalist people will say, "I read it in this book."
Sure.
But people who don't necessarily have such black and white views, no pun intended, someone with a more nuanced reason behind their drive, it takes them a little while to open up about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, Joe Rogan does a great job with the
Right.
3-hour.
Right.
long
You know who was
form.
like that too? Theo Vaughn. Like at first when he started his podcast, he was like, he wasn't as open, and then he started kind of open. He was kind of like, he was like a little baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just developed into what he is.
When he opens up sometimes though, he's amazing.
Dude, he's fucking hilarious. I consider him one of the greats.
Really?
Dude, it's just, you know why?
Wow.
No, this is my argument behind that.
Okay.
Dude, it's his, because I feel like his comedy is so natural that he actually like it's stuff like from his actual life
Yes.
or his upbringing, but you feel like there's genuine sense to his comedy, which it doesn't feel rehearsed or written.
No, it's off the cuff. for sure.
Right, and that you can't buy that, dude. That kind of talent, off the cuff comedy like that. I mean, just a genuine funny fucking guy, and he's a funny fucker, you know. Yeah, so I really consider him one of the greats. I think he's really underrated, you know. But I mean, to really say the greatest, I would literally, if I had a gun to my head, it would be like Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is definitely top
That
5.
motherfucker
I mean, we're
is-
talking about stand-up at the moment.
Well, you know,
Bill Burr,
right.
Chappelle.
Yeah,
Did
Chappelle.
you see the last Chappelle thing?
With the
Sticks and
Oh,
stones.
that was great. I thought it was
Whoa.
phenomenal. I mean, it was real and hard to paint, but I thought it was funny, you know.
I mean, it's very.
I thought it was comical. I thought it was,
Yeah.
you know, I thought he was poking the bear just enough where I don't think he crossed the line. I think that he pushed the envelope and he got into people's, you know.
He almost has a social responsibility to do that, right? Few people can get away with it. We see them fall constantly. Dave Chappelle will not fall.
Right.
You know, Dave Chappelle will make a saving throw.
Right.
And he'll be all right. He's done it once before.
But you know what that I did like about the show, and it's funny that you bring it up because it also ties into this podcast, dude, that he made the point that right now it kind of sucks to be a celebrity because of how society is so judgmental.
Well, hell, it sucks to be just a regular citizen.
And what I liked about it, that he wasn't making like a
That's
division. You know, it wasn't like he was saying, oh, well, these conservative or these liberals. No, it was like just in general,
In general, yes.
you know, you guys are the hardest people to try to entertain.
Well, even if you aren't on a side, per se,
Mm.
that's offensive to some people. You need to be taken down for that.
And that's one thing, bro, that I give a lot of reflection to, you know, because, I'll be the first one to say, I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'll probably end up fucking up on this podcast.
That's the first time I've
Dude.
heard any mention of this.
Listen, I'll probably end up saying some shit on this podcast that I'm gonna regret. But
No.
what's really important, and I wouldn't even be here today, and even me being here today, doing this with you, is I'm already breaking the rules and the boundaries, and it's me even getting to this level is beyond. I mean, I think there is
Yes,
not,
I
there's
agree.
no research on a guy like me breaking all these percentages of, you know, being Hispanic, coming from nothing, having this, you know, this kind of shady background, and then just pulling myself out of all that and creating myself and making myself into what I think I should have been and what I think I should be. It doesn't happen without making mistakes. I could have never been the person I am today if I didn't fall and learn, and especially when you don't have that support system or guidance or people who actually give a fuck about you, then you're gonna make mistakes because you don't have that base. So you can't judge people on making mistakes and making it seem like, and that's what I hate about society. They make failure seem like a bad thing when failure is a good thing. Because in failure, that's what you're gonna find growth. That's when you're gonna find wisdom. That's when you're gonna find maturity.
Right, you should personally find failure as an opportunity.
Exactly.
But everyone else in society is just looking to judge the
Right.
completed product.
Right.
No one's a completed product.
Right. Exactly. Not everyone, from the mayor, from the president, from the major corporations to the priest down the street. Everybody's fallible, but that's okay. What's not okay is to not learn from your mistakes, of course, or to just say that I don't make any, and if I do, I'm not going to be criticized, or I'm not going to hold myself accountable, but I'm going to hold other people accountable.
Well, let me play devil's advocate there. I'm going to be playing devil's advocate on this show.
All right. Well,
I'm the devil's advocate.
Bring it on, Al Pacino.
All right. I'm a psychological determinist.
Sure.
I believe in determinism, basically.
Sure.
So I think all things are causal, and I think that we're conditioned by our biology and circumstance. And you could say everyone is a robot doing what they're beep boop bop programmed to do.
Right. Right. All conditioned.
Well, all conditioned. So
Right.
it's tough to even say, you piece of shit. It's not really your fault, but somebody has to take the blame.
For sure. For sure.
Right? So personal accountability is a great asset to have in the face of trying to understand yourself as a product of the world that bore you out, or however you want to say that. Yeah.
You know who I really, as a celebrity, who I would say is going through that crisis right now? It's fucking the Juice.
Huh. I
And the only reason I
you
say
gave
that,
me a dozen guesses.
well, O.J. Simpson.
I didn't think you were going there.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because, have you seen him on Twitter? He's like,
No,
dude,
I
he comes on there and he's like,
I've heard it's bad.
he comes on there and he goes, "Hello, Twitter world." But he seems like he's got like this impression, or he looks, because I wouldn't say I don't know OJ, but I'm just saying he gives me the impression that he has and somehow forgiven himself,
Oh, yeah.
and he has like went to a higher level of thinking, and he's like, well, that was because I was going through this, and this in my life caused me to do this, but now I'm better, and now I can be re-accepted into society. So hello, Twitter world.
It's
Like-
almost like you're doing a Cosby impression.
Yeah, dude. But that right there, that is just unexplainable to me. You know, to not have that. You think you would be hiding in some cabin in the middle of the fucking goddamn Ozark somewhere.
No.
You know.
This guy got all kinds of positive reinforcement for being in the spotlight, right? For presenting the image of the person that you wanted him to be anyway.
Yeah.
You hear all of the fighters talk about how hard it is, even if you're a fucking loser,
Yeah.
right? You have a losing record, you're not going to be the champ, and you have no ambitions of being the champ. You just want to get back in there and feel the goddamn thing one more time.
Yeah. And I can relate to that feeling. You know, just the spotlight.
Yeah.
Because when you win, the highs are high, and when you lose, the lows are low.
Who's the greatest
Yeah.
college football
Yeah, for
player of all time?
For sure. Yeah. And now he's like the most
Right.
slipperiest killer of all time. What do we call him that? Call him the old slick one
I don't
now?
know, it feels bad to judge.
I'm just saying, yo, juice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yo,
but
juice is loose!
right. But that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about, man, you know? But that's some of the things that I do want to reflect on the podcast, and why, you know, I figured that we had to start something like this to get these people in here, get some good hosts, get to know people from the local area, talk to some real people who are affecting Lawton and every day, and give the people a chance to get to know who they are. And not only that, get the people a chance to know who we are and what we're trying to do. I mean, we're trying to put Lawton on the map.
For sure.
And not in a bad aspect, not as the number one, per capita, homicide in the United States.
Yeah.
I'm talking about more of the positive way as towards, really bringing Oklahoma to the map and stating that there's real good things happening there, and there's real good people here, and that we're looking forward to the 21st century, man. That we're really trying to make changes. That there's some real positive changes going on here.
Yeah.
And I think that those type of people, and if we can highlight those type of people, I think that we can create some kind of like chain reaction, you know, where other people might start picking up that trend to really start giving back to the community, to really start, you know, getting that drive, man, doing something positive. And I feel that Lawton just got so much potential, man. And I really think that it really just takes a little push, and there's a lot of people pushing. I just feel like we need to help out.
It's a crazy little spot, isn't it?
It is.
Like, whenever I think about it in a grand sense, like, you know, a lot of our economy is dependent on the tax dollars that flow from Fort Sill directly to the north of us.
Uh-huh.
One of the largest artillery bases in the world, which certainly means that there's like at least a few missiles pointed at it, right?
You would think. You
Yeah.
think?
So,
I don't
yeah.
think. You think
Oh,
they're going
yeah.
to reach this way?
Bro.
Like across the motherfucking shit, dude?
Yes.
Dude, we're right in the middle. I think they're
We
going to
got
cross the
a
fucking
few
ocean.
Crosshairs on us. Yeah, we can do it to them, they can do it to us.
Yeah.
It might take them a little longer to do, but for sure, we are not gonna have to live through the nuclear apocalypse because we'll be gone.
Right. Right?
So we got that going for us.
Right?
You know,
We're the first ones out.
I mean, you saw that movie, The Road? I
Yeah.
don't wanna go through that.
Yeah, I hear you say.
Yeah.
Just some real dire needs.
Right, so when you think about it like that, it's a great place to raise a family.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it just
If I'm
depends on.
playing devil's advocate.
It is. But also, man, things are changing so much, man. I hate to think this way at times, but because it makes me feel old, you know. But when you say, and I remember my parents saying, "God damn it, you know, it ain't what it used to be when I was a kid." Or,
No,
it ain't. You know, you guys aren't doing the things that I used to do when I was a kid.
we don't.
So now I catch myself saying that shit, and I immediately want to slap myself in the mouth and be like, "Oh fuck, what am I saying?"
You sound like an ancient Roman.
Right. So, yeah, I'm evolving as a guy, evolving as a friend, evolving as a father, as a, you know,
Evolving
Fighter.
as a martial artist.
evolving as a martial artist, you know.
Got back in there.
Dude, this jiu-jitsu, let me tell you right now, dude, this ain't no bullshit. Now, my
Well,
background,
Virgil is enormous.
yeah, but it isn't like I'm not really rolling with Verge or anything, but my background is like, if I really had to say, it's really heavy on wrestling and some striking. So, and really, I've never really taken like a complete jiu-jitsu academy class.
No, you are what I consider to be a Rashad Evans type.
A real
And I would be
hybrid.
surprised if you went for a submission.
Right, like a real hybrid, I feel like,
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
So now that I'm actually, you know, I was like, fuck it, you know, I'm gonna get this academy, I'm gonna give it a try and
It's a
whatnot.
great sport.
Right.
You know?
And I've been doing this zombie early class because I have to, you know, I have to work in the afternoon. I have all these other things going on with the company, like
Like how early?
5 in the morning.
Mm.
Yeah, dude, I'm having, listen, I'm having that shit
They're all
for,
army.
I'm having that shit for breakfast, dude. That's how, you know what I mean? So I get there, you know, my first day I get there and I'm thinking, and you know, it wasn't until the other day my wife was like, honey, she was like, when you start this class, she was like, do me a favor. And I was like, what, you know? And your sister said, I know you think that you're the baddest man on the planet,
Mhm.
but
You're middle-aged.
you're right. She says, first of all, you're
Things
in
are
your,
snap.
you're in your 40s, and she said, second of all, you don't get in there and get hurt
Mm.
thinking that you are this, because it's not that you're not, you know. And I was like, what are you saying? And immediately my blood rose to my neck,
She's
veins
trying-
are fucking popping
Just
out.
trying to give you energy, Mike,
Right.
and motivation.
So I'm driving the fucking class, right, and I'm thinking to myself, I'll fucking show her who the fuck I am and whatnot, you know. So I get there, and of course my key hadn't came in or nothing. I haven't got, so I just dressed up and nothing.
You don't have the.
I do now.
Okay.
I do now, but at my first class I didn't. You know, so I walk in there, right, and it's a small class, nothing big. I'm looking around. I'm trying to, you know, I'm still keeping the mindset of staying humble and whatnot, you know. So,
I like that little gate you have to go through
right,
to get onto the mat.
right. Well, this one doesn't have a gate. It's just like
Oh, no?
a corridor, or not even a corridor, but just like I don't know, just a walkway, I guess.
Okay.
And you walk in, of course, you know, the traditional bow before you walk in and whatnot. But I'm so heavy in my wrestling background that I utilize my knees for my transition a lot. So I'm always driving with my knees.
Mhm.
So I'm always going for that real low ankle, single leg, and I use my knees. I slide a lot on my knees.
Yeah.
So dude, this is no shit. I tore up all my fucking knees so bad. I mean, I'm talking like at least first, second layer of my knees, silver dollar size on both sides of my knees right now. Right now I'm actually wearing like these huge ass fucking Band-Aids.
Imagine doing it on the canvas.
Yeah, but on the canvas, you have the adrenaline going and whatnot. I realized that my knees were fucked up about 10 minutes into it. So I have, another fucking 40 minutes or what to roll still. My knees just throbbing, dude. I was like, fuck, I can't believe it, dude.
Start pulling guard.
Well,
Enter from the clinch.
right, so dude, my knees are all tore up and shit, dude. I was like, God, but I still went, like another class. I tried to take Friday off because I was like, I need to let these heal. They're gonna get infected or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I've been letting them heal, but I'm gonna go back at it Monday. But dude, I'm so hard on my knees, and then I kept trying to, yeah. So just to, to end the story and everything, I got my ass handed to me that morning. I was humbled. But I felt really good afterwards because it kind of gave me a mindset of where I was at. I've been out of it for so long. My cardio was shit. I threw up right after the map. Yeah, dude. I was so exhausted. I haven't been that exhausted in forever, dude. Like I forgot what that exhaustion felt like.
Yeah.
A lot of people never experience that kind of exhaustion. They see the television, they see these two guys in a cage just banging it out. And sure, the match might go 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, but you really, and you can tell that someone's fatigued and tired, but you don't know that feeling, dude. And I tell you what, I had forgotten that feeling until this other day I went to jiu-jitsu class, and I'm talking about I was so exhausted that I fucking threw up. And then I thought I was finished, right? And I got up and I shook everybody's hands, said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, whatnot. I got in my car and I got motion sickness when I started it. So I didn't even make it out of the parking lot, dude, and I'm tossing my cookies all over again, dude. I was like, fuck, man. I haven't felt this tired since I was back in the cage again, where I'm really just pushing myself to the extreme. So yeah, dude, I was like, fuck. So it's been a rough one, but
Well, you come from tough stock,
yeah,
The Aztecs and the conquistadors.
Well, I got roots. My roots are
Right,
deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like to take over.
Right.
We pillage.
Right.
So, I felt that pumping through me, but still, it just wasn't enough to get me through. Like I said, I got my ass handed
Well,
to
at
me.
least you didn't break anything.
No, but I did jam my foot. I don't know what it is about the gi, and because you're always, grabbing, and I'm always like end up jamming my fingers somehow, which that shit sucks. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That shit sucks.
Yeah.
But besides that, nothing worthwhile is gonna be easy, and I've learned that. Usually good things come with pain, and that's just part of life.
Right, yeah.
So I'm taking it with stride, and like I said, I'm excited. It's something, the injuries, I'm used to the pain, I'm used to injuries, I'm just gonna get through it. But dude, the cardio, I think, is the hardest part of it all. It's just trying to get back to that fuck, dude, it's hardcore.
I just think about Mark Coleman's face when he gets tired.
Right?
That's hilarious.
I think of his face when I'm trying not to bust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I picture Mark Coleman just rear naked choking. Right? No, dude.
Don't tap one!
Right?
Don't tap!
Right. I almost sent Jordy the video of you screaming that out during my second match when he had me on that rear naked choke, and you were like, "Don't tap one. You can't tap one."
He had crossed his legs.
Yeah. I was just revisiting that, and I was like, later on I'll add that somewhere in it. But yeah, man, I'm really excited about this podcast. We've come a long way, bro. And it's just, I never thought that I was going to reach these heights. I never thought we were going to have our own little program, our own little podcast. It's 4 months ago, I would have never said, hey, this is probably it's developed pretty fast, but it was a real good, strong feeling, especially because we get so busy with our lives and shit that we don't, I was so busy with school, you're busy with work, your family, my family, whatnot, that we haven't really had a chance to connect. But the minute we connected and we started to talk and whatnot, I immediately realized that, dude, the magic's still there, baby.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah. So I immediately said, dude, we have to do this, man. We have to. The people need to hear this thing. We gotta develop something and share this, because I think we have something. These fights that just happened, dude. Andrade and fucking Zhang.
In China?
Yeah, dude. You know, at first I didn't think they were gonna have the match because of all that trouble that China's going through right now with all the protests in Hong Kong.
It's a little crazy.
But I just thought the whole country was unstable. It
No,
makes it,
I don't think so.
see, that's what I hate about media. They make it seem like, and I know they keep focusing, but they make it seem like it's China. You know what I mean? Like,
China's like the size of the
Right.
contiguous.
that's what I'm saying. They make it seem like the whole fucking shit.
Could you imagine
the
if,
whole
like,
content's
if China showed their citizenry Portland and they said, "Look at what's going on in the U.S."
right with them TVs.
Well, with whatever's going on in Portland.
Right.
Very, very unique place.
Right.
Which all of our friends left to go to.
They did. I think they're undercover fucking making bunkers
Maybe.
and fucking
Maybe that's what
storing
they're doing
fucking
there.
rice and beans and shit.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really going on.
Yeah,
That's all that.
stockpile ammo.
Yeah, that's all that drone work. they're
Body
doing.
armor. Just dropping tear gas.
I think that's what's going on. I think they're fucking.
Wait, I thought I was the conspiracy minded one.
When it comes to them two, I don't fucking know. But the China fights, the Zhang and Andrade fight.
Yeah.
Dude, I knew it. I knew Zhang was gonna dominate.
Really? I've never seen Weili Zhang. If that's even how you pronounce her name.
Close.
Weili, I like that.
Waylay.
I like that
She was
word.
wailing on
She
that ass.
waited.
She wailed on that ass for sure.
But I don't really like Jessica Andrade.
I never did either, dude. So what the fuck do you mean on like fucking Brazilians, bro?
Brazilians, people from Brazil.
I know, but you have great fighters like Marlon Moraes, the magician. We got Anderson Silva. We got dude, Paulo Costa, dude.
Paulo Costa
That beast, that fucking phenom.
is a beast and a female. I can't believe he beat Yoel Romero.
But once I rewatched the fight, I give him 1 and 2. I give Joel a third.
You know,
But it was close.
yeah, if it would have been a 5-rounder, maybe.
Right. But I'm just saying, I never considered Andrade to have any good stand-up at all. Like she reminds me of Vanderlei Silva in her striking as towards how she swings so wide.
Right, she swings wide.
Right.
She's just got sledgehammer fists.
Yeah.
She's got an iron.
So I always knew somebody, dude, and I'll even bring it back before that. Dude, when she fucking fought Rose Namajunas,
Yeah.
dude, Rose Namajunas was putting the clinic on her.
Yes, but as you can see, it was ineffective.
Well, of
Weili
course.
Zhang
I mean,
got her to step onto
dude,
those landmines.
have you seen Weili Zhang's ass? Dude, she's
Yeah.
got way more ass than fucking Rose Namajunas.
She's got as much steroids as Andrade.
But what I liked about Zhang was that she opened her up with them leg kicks.
A little bit.
So
yeah.
when-
But everything that
Yeah.
Weili Zhang threw
Yeah.
was hard.
Intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She's built, and I'm going to say it again, and once again, I mean, I don't know how well USADA works in China.
0% is
And I'm not saying that
It doesn't
Zhang
work in Brazil.
is fucking shooting that shit up her fucking neck or anything, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that she was just hitting with fucking viciousness. I mean, she's hard. And
Yeah.
She just, I mean, yeah, she looked like she was on another level.
Did you ever get in on that conspiracy theory where I think it was Akiyama had brass knuckles against Sakura? It was either
Brass
Akiyama,
knuckles?
Sakura,
In the fucking gloves?
in the glove.
No.
I want to say it might have been the Garabaka Hitman.
No.
I'm gonna have to go back.
No, I
because-
did not do that. What is the shenanigans?
So there was something weird about his glove. It was back in the Pride days, but it might have been K1 Heroes. His glove was just like bowed out on the bottom. Everybody's
Was he
like,
hammer fisting with that fucker?
He was just punching, but like there's a specific kind of brass knuckle that has this weird weight on the bottom.
Oh,
Like, why would they use that one? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, like that German dagger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, in boxing, stuff like back in the day, you know, like I said, I really don't know my research on it, but I've heard of like boxers cementing their, like casting.
Antonio Margarito,
Yeah, like casting their fucking
Yeah.
their wraps and shit, dude, and just smashing your.
or taking the hair, the horse hair out
yeah.
of the glove. Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Just really rocking your ass. And now with all this discoveries about CT,
Mhm.
dude,
Yeah.
man, it makes me think back, you know, I'm like, I'm fucking CT on my ass.
Right.
I mean,
There's no way to tell.
right, because I've taken some photos.
You don't even have to get knocked out.
right? That's what I.
They
you
get
know,
them from body blows.
and especially sometimes when I catch myself kind of like stuttering,
Huh.
I think, is that CT?
Right,
coming
yeah.
at me?
How would you
I'm like, dude, did I get hit too many times in the head? Is that what, the rage? Is that where the rage comes from? The CT, bro? Oh, dude. But that's that fighting life. Everyone wants to be a fighter until they get their fucking nose broken off like Mike Perry.
I think he still wants to be a fighter.
Dude, Dude, this is Mike Perry now. This is my impression of Mike Perry. Hey, man. There's no breathing here no more. Have you heard him talk
I
anymore?
haven't yet.
Dude,
It just happened.
his interviews are like this.
How we doing? Yeah, I'm ready to fight again.
No.
You can tell that it is fucking destroyed in there.
You need a CPAP machine.
Yeah. Oh, for the rest of his life, dude. I'm surprised that fucker doesn't go to sleep and it's just like straight, just hoses up his nostrils, just delivering oxygen. Because I know right now he's probably breathing like 40%,
Oh.
and it's all mouth breathe. He's a mouth breather now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a fucking, what are those fish called? In the fucking those black he's a sucker fish
Now
now.
sucker fish. Yeah.
That's what he is, dude. Straight up sucker. And I like Mike Perry.
He's
Platinum.
great.
Platinum. I mean, he reminds me of
Shoot
like a-
some fucking stem cells up there. I don't know. You know.
dude. You would think it reminds me of like Chris Lieben. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Phil Baroni. That's who he reminds me of.
Sure, Phil Baroni. Sure, but in a fashion that I think he's become, and I know it sucks, but like gatekeeper kind of deal. For videos.
Man, I don't think gatekeeper means the terrible thing that other people think it. You know what I mean?
Well, to
Like
me,
Conor
it means like
McGregor, if he'd never fought Khabib, he'd be a gatekeeper.
Conor.
Conor.
Get the fuck out of here with that, dude.
Here's what gatekeeper means.
Go
It
ahead.
means you cannot beat the current champion.
Uh-huh.
Right? But you are still a strong contender. So if the champion changes hands, you might be right back in the game.
Well,
So if someone can defeat you, they can enter that pool of contenders. They've
Yeah,
proven
yeah,
themselves
but Broham,
somehow capable of winning the championship. That's what a gatekeeper is. It's
Well-
just a temporary circumstance for a fighter.
but what I believe a gatekeeper is someone who's introducing anybody above the top 10. That's what a gatekeeper is to me. Someone who swims or hangs around between 10, 11, 12 ranked, and they're bringing in the 15th and up into the top 10. That's what a gatekeeper
That
is
would
to
be
me.
a jobber. That's
You know
a
what I'm saying?
jobber.
What I consider second place pound for pound, third place pound for pound is a Conor McGregor, a fucking Dustin Poirier,
Yeah.
a Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Those are top contenders.
Those are all 100.
But I would never consider them to be gatekeepers as I would fucking Mike Perry, who's fighting number 12 next time.
Mike Perry's just an exciting banger.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
He's a valuable. He's like the explosion in the action movie.
Yeah.
He says things that are the explosion.
Yeah.
He does things that explode. He is a walking explosion
Right.
from the action movie. I'm Mike Perry. I got tattoos on my face.
Right.
I can make the Brazilian crowd like me.
Right.
That's another reason I don't like Brazilians,
Why?
because they don't like Americans.
They like fucking Americans, dude. What's wrong?
Yes, they like.
They don't like Kobe
Americans.
Covington, Chaos Covington. They don't like his ass.
Anytime, like, uva mohe,
Okay. Yeah.
you're the foreigner, and that's what they have to say to you.
Right.
You're gonna die. You go to your death.
But that's the fighting spirit, man. That's
Okay,
just
all right.
that's
Well,
all.
we say gross shit like USA
That and we're gonna
And
fucking
inappropriate.
smash you
or
and
whatever. We don't all cheer. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Welcome to America, asshole. You're gonna die.
Well,
That's fucked up. Also, you think you could make weight? Could you make weight, maybe?
yeah, a lot of them fuckers have a hard time making weight.
A lot of hard
You know what
time.
it is? It's this fucking cooked plantains. I love cooked plantains, but they are a weight gain son of a bitch.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? I think their diet down there, because Brazilian food is good, dude.
Right.
I mean, it is fucking good.
It
I like
is.
Brazilian food. You know what I'm saying? I like all that shit down there. The one thing I do hate about Brazil, and I really, I wouldn't even say hate, because hate is a hard word. But one thing I dislike is the fucking favelas. The poor.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the walking hobo spider that bites you and makes your dick explode.
No, besides all the fucking deadly
I
animals.
thought you were gonna say like scopolamine.
No, I wouldn't want to live in the fucking poor side of the world.
No, yeah, of course not.
But at the same time, I am a fan of the Amazon that's burning down. So, I wish they wouldn't be doing that.
You're a fan of the Amazon and it's burning down.
Not burning down.
You're not a fan of the Amazon burning down.
Sure.
You're a fan of the Amazon.
I'm a fan of the Amazon.
Let's keep it unburnt.
And then not burning down.
Right.
Right.
That was clear to me. I just didn't know if it was clear to everybody else.
No, they knew that I'm all for the Amazon and not
And it's
burning it down.
Clear that Amazon if we need to.
But yeah, dude, I get what you're saying and the hate and how they react. But I think a lot of that is just, nation pride. And
Yeah.
I don't think, and you're facing, an outsider, the enemy. They come from a war, there's a lot of battling out there. A lot of fighting.
Yeah,
a lot of,
we have to.
there's a lot of instability there.
Right, for sure.
Shit, just not so long ago, the prisoners were chopping fucking heads off. Prisoners taking over prisons and chopping people's heads off.
So what's up, man? Christ the Redeemer ain't doing his job.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I imagine, and the religion's really high there.
You know what? Let me not say that.
So
You can't be redeemed unless you transgress. Maybe it's all part of the process.
I imagine
And I just don't understand the culture. I just
and I think that's part of it. Trying to. You're right. Right. A lot of these differences that it's just we don't understand the culture. But a lot of great fighters come from there. I mean, there wouldn't be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu today.
from Sao Paulo to Fortaleza.
If it was for Brazil.
Right. Yes. So we owe them that.
Brazilian.
And they had a great run. They had a great run in Pride. They had a great run in the UFC. Jorge Santiago is one of my favorite fighters of all time.
You know what I am excited about?
Who?
Is that the UFC is introducing cannabis. That they're allowing their fighters to be able to use CBD and medicate themselves after the fight. Dude, it's a hell of a
Do you
the
find
swelling and
Yeah.
the swelling and the
And,
damage.
super
You're right. So you have damage.
Yep.
So now and I think the UFC just got a sponsor somehow like that. Some CBD company, and I'm not sure. I think I should have done my research. I don't know, Jordy. Is there anything on UFC and CBD that you can probably look up and see what you can find? But I think somebody's sponsoring them now,
It's amazing to me.
and they were talking about it this last.
Someone's sponsoring them now. That's a big part of it.
Something like that.
But
Yeah,
they said, okay, how about testosterone replacement therapy?
TRT.
Before they went, how about something on CBD?
Oh yeah. So, but I think that's a big step for the UFC to actually recognize and be like, hey, there might be some medical property issue that we should be including. If we want top fighters to fight at a top level, they have to be open to all types of studies, man. You know what I mean? I mean, just as a fighter myself, or once a fighter myself, if I could, found anything to help me alleviate swelling or even the
All
anxiety.
right, this is what I found. U.S. teams with Aurora Cannabis and CE studying fighters.
What do we got here?
So it looks like they are allowing some studies to see if cannabis can actually help their fighters.
Yeah. Let me see. It
Aurora
says
cannabis.
this is
Yeah.
cannabis
So it's a
compound
specific
CBD
strain
can
it looks
treat
like.
the aches and pains that come hand to hand in their violent sport. But where does it say that the UFC is actually saying we're going to go ahead and rock that shit?
Aurora UFC officials say they hope the studies will show the effectiveness
Oh, there it is,
effectiveness of
yeah.
CBD
Yeah,
and
dude.
specific formulations of the compound in areas such as wound care, recovery, injury, pain, and inflammation.
Yeah.
It's a miracle product, snake oil, it's gonna sell millions.
Yeah. That's huge, bro. I'm telling you.
Could you imagine protein CBD oil mixtures? Or like God knows what? Protein CBD milk baths where you're like fucking, what is that movie?
Which one?
Where they ricochet the bullet, they curve the bullet, Wanted?
Wanted?
Yeah, he takes that milk bath in the wax.
Oh,
and he
they
wakes
try that
up.
anti-healing shit?
Yeah, he just wakes up, you break your jaw, you wake up in wax.
Dude, for reals, dude.
You know?
You know how that would fix penis dysfunction? That old milky thing in there, you just get in there, that shit will straighten your shit out. You don't
Oh,
know.
like if you broke your dick on a porn set or something?
Sure, or say you just having poor blood flow. You get in
Right.
that milk bath, dude, and you just come out
Oh, really?
yeah. Ain't that what it was? It was like that milk bath in the movie kind of healed all your wounds and shit.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
wax.
Yeah, it was like this
That they
wax.
covered them in. It was like
Yeah.
some magical
Fix your foot,
mixture.
hemorrhoids, fucking deafness,
Yeah,
blindness.
everything. You lose an eye, maybe
Yeah,
it
it
goes
was like
back.
the holy grail.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But the CBD thing is a big thing for UFC.
yeah,
I think that's fucking revolutionary. You know, in this day and age, it's fucking huge, especially with having like partner up with ESPN and how conservative they can be at times. It's a big thing to
I
me.
gotta say, my friend, my brother-in-law,
¿Qué pasó?
that ever since the Fertitas
Sold out.
geared up to sell out, geared up to
Right,
sell out,
right.
I have, in most aspects, loathed the sport that I used to love. The Reebok deal,
Yeah.
the USADA thing, the Hankings,
Right.
you know, no respect in the Hankings,
No respect to intern belts.
no respect.
Yeah, and, you know, I agree. It's got a lot of real gimmicky. You know, and the UFC has forgotten their base and their foundation and how they started actually. You know, because now you know, I feel like they have like this responsibility to generate a certain amount of money after the deal that was sold for $4 billion.
Yes.
So you sell somebody a $4 billion item or idea, you expect that idea to produce. And I think that's where Dana's at right now. You know, trying to justify the $4 billion that they bought this company.
Imagine crafting a lie that you then have to represent.
Right? He's like, dude, this is literally Dana. The Fertitas are gone. He's holding these shit bags, and he's like, oh, I guess this is me. You know what I mean? I guess this is
I
me.
guess that's you.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when he said he kind of freaked out a little bit?
Yeah.
Sequestered himself like Howard Hughes?
And I would too if I would have got a $300, like almost $400 million check. That's what he got, like almost $400 million.
Really? That's what you do? You would act like you were depressed?
I would be away for a while. I wouldn't be depressed, but I'd be vacationing in secret. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm so depressed. I'd be out there just. Yeah, dude, forget that.
How political do you want to be on this show?
You know, that's a good question,
Look,
bro. Man. And I tell you where.
Jordy just gave me a suggestion, and
Well, go. I mean, listen. And this is the thing.
Don't
you know,
wanna- don't
I know that. I know
wanna
that.
talk about
I know that our
head.
fans, our true hardcore fans, expect us to, you know, touch every pool, swing, stick our toe
a
in
bunch of
every
people
pool.
hate me already because I don't like
Hey, and that's
Brazilians.
fine. We're gonna get some hate, and I'm with that hate. I ain't got a problem with a little haterism.
Haterism.
You know what I'm saying?
Look,
But sure, I'm not so political. I'm not ever gonna swing or state that I'm a conservative or a liberal or a Democrat or a Republican.
Yeah.
It's not my jam.
Well,
it's not my
obviously.
bag, baby. It's not my bag.
Well, we have some
But I do have my
interesting
opinions. I do have opinions like anybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, we can talk about politics, and I think our fans and the public expect us to talk about politics. We're gonna have politicians in here. Like I said, one of my goals was to actually get, you know, Mayor Booker in
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I understand.
So, and not saying that I'm swaying in any direction. I'm just once again is that I want to catch anybody from all walks of life, whether it's politicians, whether if they're business owners, whether they're athletes. I just want to get to know people.
We are alive.
Jordy, what do you got with this weird
Okay,
news,
so
bro?
in this weird news, right? We're gonna skip all this stuff.
All right.
So recently, there was a guy, pretty much robbed a store, right? He's going in to rob a store, and it didn't go as planned because another man saw the opportunity to take his truck while he's robbing the store. He's riding on a
he
bike.
got bamboozled,
Yeah.
bro.
So
What
He
city
just-
did that happen?
Yeah,
I
dude.
think it is. I'd have to find it here.
It's
Look
called
on,
Kennewick. It's called man's truck
But yeah, he
stolen while
just
he's
pulls off in
allegedly
his
robbing,
truck.
dude.
I think the man deserves a medal, honestly.
Dude, I
He's,
I
he's a
think you should
hero.
not move to that city because
Dude, if a crime is rampant. Dude, the fucking wolf are eating
Oh, it was
the wolf,
in,
dude.
it was in
It's
Washington.
crazy. Dude, when fucking thieves are being robbed by their own fucking
No, it was a passerby.
by their own guild,
was-
that's
it was
pretty
a
bad,
passerby.
dude.
And the next thing, a woman's going to be losing her license or getting arrested because she was a medical doctor in the UK, and she decided it was a great opportunity to puppet her patient's vagina and make it speak and talk. while surrounded by other colleagues.
All right,
So,
all right. Let me get this right. Let me get this correct. If I'm understanding, Jordy.
Women are pigs too, that's what you're saying.
Yes, yes. So you're telling me that there is a woman in the UK who was comatose.
Possibly she pulled her labia apart and said, "Hello, my name is."
Okay, I'm just saying, but the lady was sedated or comatose?
Probably. It doesn't have that
It doesn't
much
really
information. It
And
just
then,
says
and
she
then
puppeted
the
her.
doctor herself started to puppet the woman's vagina?
Yeah, she took the labia majora and went, hi.
All right,
Today's
all right.
letter is A or V.
Dude, that's
probably.
crazy. So I guess they're taking her license away from her?
I would hope so. She's going around.
Yeah,
grabbing
you
them
don't
by the
know
pussy.
shit about medicine if you
that
think
is
pussies
crazy.
can talk.
But let me tell you this, though, before we get any further. Dude, that vagina must have some lips on it. I mean, the lips on this vagina must have been so big that it was so unresistible for the doctor to be like, hey, talk to me. I mean, dude, come on, dude.
Maybe it was Gina Davis.
Stop. What you got, Jordy?
So this is kind of like the last thing because it's the most stone cold motherfucker in the world.
Oh, the guy with the AK?
Yeah. So
Oh,
Let me see,
Bart
what
gets
happened?
robbed.
What happened?
Bart
He
gets
just don't give a
robbed,
fuck.
right?
Is
Guy
that a bartender, dude?
No, so
I don't
guy
know.
walks in with fishnets on, right? He's sticking the place up. He is, threatening. Tries to
He's gonna
take the
take
guy's
this guy's
phone. The guy
phone.
takes his phone back.
using my phone.
Dude, that dude said, fuck you and your gun.
And he's gonna light up a cigarette and enjoy his fucking drink while everyone gets cleaned out. Man's a G. Look at this guy. He doesn't give
Where's
a
this
single
happening?
fuck.
Where's this at?
Let me try to find the stake here.
I
Man,
want
look
the
how
drugs
brave this
that
man
guy's
is.
on. The bravery, hell.
No fucks.
If he was
given.
brave, he'd just knock that dude out.
St. Louis, of course.
St. Louis?
And look, his buddy here is getting sticked up.
Right next door to us? Dude, we're here in Missouri?
Yeah.
Apathy.
Look at that. He's just enjoying that cigarette while his buddy's
is that
getting a
an
rifle up his
AK?
ass.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like an AK.
It looks like an AK, don't it?
So yeah, he could give two fucks less. I don't
Dude,
know.
that dude's a straight gangster, dude. Look at him, dude. He said, first of all, he said, fuck your AK. This is my iPhone 10, and you ain't taking this bitch.
No,
He
but-
said, and second of all, this is my last cigarette, and I'm gonna smoke it if this
And
is
I
my
gotta complete this game of solitaire.
Not only that, imagine like what his wife's like if he can handle this shit. Man,
Oh, that's one cool hand loop right there.
yeah. Everyone else
Look
is
at him.
getting clean up. The guy also made it out with like $15.
Of course he did. Dude,
Like,
he went to like the most fucking redneck bar in Missouri, dude. Look at him. Look at the fucking bartender, dude. He looks like Mr. Clean.
So he
Look at
just,
that dude.
He just bounced out. Guy kept his phone, kept his wallet.
For 15 bucks?
Lost the cigarette.
He would have been better off taking all the bottles. He would have
yeah.
been better off taking a Grey Goose vodka bottle
Yeah. No. Or,
than the
or
15
Crystal
fucking dollars he
Skull.
took from the
He'd have been
cashier.
better off taking that fucking AK to the pawn shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that,
no
I've never
doubt.
seen
Show.
something so cold, so like, we gotta have the guy on the show. We gotta find that man.
Dude, who, the
I-
gangster? Dude,
Yeah.
they,
Something
Jordy, look
tells
into
me
some finding
he's
that
got
fucking
better shit
gangster,
to
dude,
do.
and have him on the show, because from one gangster to another, that dude was cool hand loop, baby.
Yeah, it seems like he's got better shit to do than come on a show.
He sure did.
Or get robbed. Or
I don't know.
he's like, I really need to sit in his bar because he didn't even leave.
Dude, that dude, I tell you what it was. When he yanked that phone out of dude's hand, you know there were some dick pics in that phone. He was like, you ain't getting my dick pics. Sat that shit down, lit a cigarette, and was like, nope.
But that's gonna conclude our weird news segment. We'll be sure to have more next time.
No, those were good, Jordy. Next time we'll bring in some more hardcore ones. But yeah, this is pretty much what the show is going to be about. We got a little heavy on the MMA today. But the show is going to be, we're going to bring different guests, different people, and we're just going to rock it, man.
Amateur and the cool.